Hello, family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Epic Understanding. I am so pleased to be with you today. You know what? This is real life. This is absolutely real life. And I plan to have Solomon Savoy here for you, right here in the studio for you today. But that could not happen. As you know, guys, heck, 70% of the nation is under a deep freeze, and that has affected our progress, but it has not impeded our progress. Let me tell you, Solomon is so dedicated to his mission and dedicated to helping everyone move forward with navigating narcissists that he was in the frigid cold charging his phone, both him and his wife. They put this together for us so that he could be here, at least in his voice. Solomon, say hello to the family.
Hello, baby. How y'all doing?
All right. Let me know, family. Can you hear? If there's any trouble hearing, then I will work on that. And also, EU family, let us know where you're coming in from, whether you are on, LinkedIn or Facebook Live or whatever mechanism that you're calling in from, and then what country you are calling in from. I realize that we have a large audience in so many different places, Paris, Portugal, Africa, Jamaica. Hey, Jamaica, how y'all doing? And also our American audience. And we want to give a big shout out to the Houston audience because Solomon is from Houston, but not originally. Where are you from, Solomon?
I'm originally from Lake Charles, Louisiana, city in Louisiana. I'm about 2 hours away.
Okay, so Lake Charles, Louisiana is where you are originally from. And then what got you started on this path of searching out development in training for narcissism?
To be honest with you, it was, I guess you could say, several different employments that I had, and then ex-marriage that I had. So between the two, professional and personal, I was able to get a very good understanding of what narcissism was. But I will tell you, I didn't know what narcissism was at the time, obviously. It was something I found out later on. And then I had to look back at those situations and figure out, because I used to be one of those guys, I would just say, whether my supervisor is crazy or, whoever my immediate, boss or whatever it was, I would say it was crazy. But when I dug into it a little bit deeper than that, it wasn't just that they were crazy, it was, some deeper issues. And that's when I started, looking at narcissistic traits. And then, like I said, with ex-wives, it was the same thing, it's like, okay, it's something I had, there was a common denominator with all these. So that's kind of how I got into it.
You know what? I think you make such an excellent point, and that is common terminology for so many of us. Someone out there, just real quick, hey family, St. Louis and Houston's chiming in. He says, yes, it is cold out here. Hi, Beth. How are you doing? We see you out. Mary Beth, we see you out there. But I think what you said is so common. That's common, a common phrase. My boss is crazy. She's crazy. But you can't really work with or improve upon just plain old crazy. You can't improve upon that. Now, I want to just step back a little bit because before we go down fully your track of narcissism, you said that you was originally from North Carolina, right?
From Louisiana.
I'm sorry, Louisiana, but something special caused you to move from Louisiana to Houston. And what was that?
That'll be my wife.
So I'm Coach Love, so you know I absolutely love a love story, and your wife is such a big part of what you do. As a matter of fact, you guys are partners. Can you tell us really quickly, because we have a large LinkedIn audience, how did you meet her?
Well, we actually met on LinkedIn. So it's funny that you have a large audience on LinkedIn. That's kind of how we met.
You actually met her on LinkedIn, and what did you say to her to woo her from LinkedIn? Because that's a big jump. That is a big jump.
Yes, it is. I mean, to be honest with you, we just started out as friends, on LinkedIn, I like to go out and, meet people from different professionalism, professions, I should say. And she was military, and I was just going through, what I'm liking, different posts or different people trying to connect. You just never know what those connections might lead to, whether it be a job, a friendship, or whatever.
Well, for you, it led to love. That's where it led for you. You want to know something? You are giving us the general man version of this. Where's your wife?
She's right here.
Okay. Hi, how are you? Say hello to the family.
Hello, family. How are you guys?
We are doing great. Okay, Solomon, properly introduce your beautiful wife because she is gorgeous.
This is my wife, Shannon Savoy.
Yes, and what role does Shannon play in your organization?
Actually, this organization is by myself, but Shannon has her own organization. And, I tackle narcissism more from the professional side, like corporate, and she tackles more from the like husband, wife, or, mom, dad, things like that.
Oh, wow. So, you know what? It must be real healthy in your household because both of you guys are narcissism experts.
Yes, Erica. Well, we try to make it that way. We didn't grow up in households that were so we definitely set the tone. God is the head of our house, and we have healthy conversations. And when situations come up, we make sure that we are all emotionally and spiritually equipped to deal with them. Take all of the difference. So shedding light on this narcissism aspect has really us up mentally, emotionally, just to be healthy in all aspects of life. So it's bigger than the both of us.
You know what? I love that. I love that. Family, if you have any particular questions, any burning questions that you would like Shannon or Solomon to answer, go ahead and shoot those. And we're only going to be here until 3 o'clock, but we will take just a few questions to make sure that we are getting your thoughts in here, because I'm going to tell you, the audience, we have a very smart audience. The Epic Understanding audience is extremely smart, extremely savvy, and they're in those leadership positions. And they are the people who are volunteering in the church and in the community, helping to, navigate through toxic situations. So can either one of you give me an example of a personality trait? Like, what should people really be looking for when it comes to spotting a narcissistic personality?
Oh, I'll say first, and then Solomon can give his input. They, whether it's in the workplace or whether it's should be someone who is critical. They have a high sense of entitlement. They can be very demanding of your time, of your energy. They'll drain like your resources. What else, Solomon? They usually have a lack of remorse and empathy, and they have a great sense of self-importance. And because of those ideologies and that mindset, it causes them to believe that they are, that they're kind of above everyone, and they have an excessive need to be admired, and they have they're usually very haughty and arrogant. Those are the overt types, but you also have the covert types who are more passive aggressive, and they usually lead with fear, guilt, and shame, versus the strong fist. They don't rule with the iron fist. They rule with get tap into your emotions. So that's how. That's a few of the signs. What do you say, Solomon?
Oh, wait, hold on, because you know what, Shannon, girl, you said a lot. You said a lot, and so I'm just gonna backpedal just a bit. You said that there was the domineering type. Okay, so that's one type,
Yeah.
and then there is the passive aggressive type, right? So with the domineering type, they are very demanding of your time. And would you say that they bulldoze your boundaries? Would you say that?
Oh, boundaries. There's no boundaries with the narcissist. Yes, they absolutely bulldoze right over that. And then if you try to set them, you're dealing with an emotionally unhealthy person or someone who is really not for you. When you set a boundary and they become, irritable and, angry, narcissistic rage, you're dealing with someone who doesn't, really respect you as a person. So you should be able to set boundaries and, still be able to work or live with someone. But with a narcissist, you won't be able to do that. Everything is on their terms.
So that is so key. Everything is on their terms. And when you set a boundary, they become irritable and angry. I really like that. Okay. So Solomon, if you could pick up on where your beautiful wife left off with the passive aggressive narcissist.
The passive aggressive narcissist. To me, I got some that in a few words. Actually, it's pretty much the person that I work for. I won't say last, but a person I worked for recently, and basically they come in, and that's where your flying monkeys and enablers and things like that, because the position, the title, wherever they whatever the title they given, but they don't use their trying to think of the word. They don't use their title, as an evil thing. What they do is they get people under them, like the flying monkeys and things like that. So the flying monkeys and enablers will come out, and it's like almost like having a football team. If you think of it that way, and the quarterback goes out there, and he's going to throw the ball to the wide receivers, to the tight end, and to the running back. He don't necessarily do all the things for himself. So the quarterback is the same thing as the narcissist. You look at it that way. So the narcissist is going to take the person under them, maybe 2-3 people up under them, and they're going to let them do all the evil deeds. So you're thinking that person is being evil, but in actuality, it's a triangulation going on because it's the narcissist that's controlling the whole situation. So they're not only controlling that person, they're trying to control you also. If you look at it that way.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I wanted to crack up so bad because you said flying monkeys. You said flying monkeys and enablers. And so the passive aggressive type of narcissist will use other people in order to make you feel in a system of dysfunction. They put you in a system of dysfunction. Is that right?
Absolutely. And Eric, if you think about it, like I always say, the narcissist can't do what they do without a system, a principality, whatever you want to call it. They can't do what they do without a system of enablers and people who allow them to get away with what they do. And if you think about it in terms of covert and overt, Solomon, that analogy was, you hit it home. But the covert narcissist doesn't get their hands dirty, whereas the overt narcissist, they don't mind they're still going to use the same tactics and everything. Mind getting dirty, But the overt ones, they're like Solomon going to hike that stall to their team, and they're going to let their team run all over that field with their campaign, with the tri-gas station, with all their tools and their kit back and their gameplay, and they're going to run the field and to do their dirty work.
Okay. Well, that is so powerful, because as you said that the narcissist actually recruits people to really help do their dirty work, I started thinking not just about business relationships, but also personal relationships. Family, we are sitting here with Solomon and Shannon Savoy, and they are helping us shed some light on narcissism, and actually they're giving us a full table, both in the professional world and our personal world. And I also want to remind you, and thank you, audience, for those who are just now tuning in. I want to let you know that Solomon and Shannon, they are just like all of us. They are in the middle of this deep freeze. And so they could not be on camera with us, but because they're so dedicated, they have phoned in for us, determined to make sure that they could be here for you and our audience today. So that is wonderful. So now that we have observed that maybe we are dealing with someone who's narcissistic, and of course, the chief thing we want to say is, remove ourselves from that relationship. But perhaps that's not, really possible. Perhaps we are in a marriage that we are not prepared to leave, or perhaps we are in a workplace that, pays us a very, very significant salary. And, whatever that may be for you, maybe you're making $50,000 a year or $200,000 a year. Whatever it is, you're in a job where you feel like, I cannot quickly replace this income and I feel stuck. So can you give us some examples? A couple from each of you would be so helpful of how can we navigate, what behaviors can we have?
From professional point, like being in corporate America, you're gonna have to. I hate to say it, but you got to be the bigger person in some instances, because you are dealing with, like you just said, you're dealing with a situation where you can't just quit. You look at COVID, you look at unemployment, you look at a bunch of different things. In corporate America, it's not like you just can quit and just walk away from these jobs. So you can do it but being a bigger person, what I mean is, you're going to have to suck up some of these things. You're still going to set boundaries. I'm a firm believer that I'm still going to set boundaries, even at work dealing with a narcissist. So if you upfront them and tell them, certain things like, if you sign a contract, like some companies you'll sign a contract, and you're not working weekends, and that's part of your contract. Well, you're not going to, let them go over that boundary and start, working weekends and calls on the weekends, or when you're on vacation, they want to push those boundaries where, you're on vacation, they want, can you just, because I'll be on vacation, so it's after boundaries. And like I say, you can't just leave certain jobs. But on the flip side, what you can do is, you can't go to human resources, you can't file complaints, against these people. So it's you can do to protect yourself. And the last thing I'll say, that I always tell is, you have to remember to document. It's going to help you in your situation. Not to sit around, but it will, because if you go back a whole year, you've been documenting the whole time. And I come from a safety background, so usually when I document something, I'm going to have the date in there. I'm going to have the person I talked to. I'm going to have what we talked about. Any witness, I'm going to have all those things in there, and I put it in a tablet. And what I tell people, never rip a page out of that tablet, because in court, what happens is, you got to go to court. They want to look at that documentation. If you have a tablet or 2 or 3 binders, whatever it is, you have all your things written down and nothing ripped out. What they're going to do is, they're going to take that legal binding document because she didn't work anything out. And it shows, you have dates, you have times, you have witnesses, and, the times you didn't talk to HR. So, it's a few different things that you can do to protect yourself while you're working in corporate America.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. Tony Alexander, he is a member of the Epic Understanding family. He's also a DE&I expert as well, and he frequently acts as my co-host. He's just jumped in, and he simply said, documentation is your foundation. I could not agree more. I could not agree more. Shannon, what are your thoughts?
And Solomon is kind of from a work, and I totally agree with that. Mine, always, I'm going to go to God. I don't mean that spiritual bypassing. I mean, really turn to God and seek His face. If you are a believer, turn to God and ask Him, God, what is my plan? What should I do? Okay. And then in the meantime, while you're waiting to hear from God, you make sure that you are protecting yourself emotionally. So it's things that you're going to have to do, like Solomon said, documentation. So if you cannot leave, or if you're in a family and you're not quite ready to go no contact, you can go gray rock or low contact. And that's just a way of maintaining your emotional boundaries. It's just a way of setting the tone for the atmosphere. Because this person keeps violating your boundaries, you're now in a posture. You have to posture yourself where you are protecting yourself. Because this person has shown you that, hey, they're not really respecting my boundaries, so I'm going to go low contact or gray rock with them. And that just simply means that you're not letting them in emotionally. So say, whether at work or at, in a family environment or something like that, someone did something to you to get up under your skin, and this person is not coming from a good place. Like somebody said, just throwing something out there, oh, you're stupid or something like that. You go gray rock, and you don't have to acknowledge what that said, or you can say, well, that's your opinion. It's very vague, dry comments, because what that narcissist wants to do, whether at work, in the home, wherever, they want a reaction from you. And when you don't give them what they want, they hate it. So you go gray rock or low contact, you're maintaining the power position. You're maintaining your boundaries and your, I don't want to say walls, but you're maintaining your boundaries, and you're rebuking the devil. You're like, out of here. I'm not letting you in. I'm not coming into an agreement with what you said. And that's it. So gray rock and contact are your friends.
Okay, gray rock and low contact. I want to really define that phrase, gray rock. I want to unpack that for them, because I know our audience, or if you are new to this particular subject matter, you might not fully understand that. So can you clearly define gray rock for us, and maybe tell us where that comes from?
It's a term that we use definitely in the narcissist community, and it's different from the silent treatment. Because narcissists will try to give you the silent treatment. With gray rock, you are protecting yourself, so you are not letting them into your your space. So like I said, they will try to portray you in like a negative light, but you're not giving into that. You're just simply stating, you're simply just speaking like a rock. You're hunkering down, and you're not letting them in emotionally. So I'll say, like if somebody is, like I said before, if somebody's trying to say something about you, because this is what they'll do. They're really trying to get under your skin and really want you to react. So you're not letting them in to your space. So when they do that, like I said, they hate that, and they want to get into, your head, but you're not letting them in. And a narcissist is designed, no matter what form they're there to, get in your head. And with gray rock, you're not letting them in your head. That's really it in a nutshell. You are sticking firm on what you know. You're not going to gaslight yourself and, question your stance, your intuition and what God says. You're standing firm on that rock on what you believe about yourself and not letting them in.
Okay. So I definitely get that. What it sounds like to me is this is a time for introspection, and this is a time for you to fortify yourself. So it might be, an investigation of how you are going to respond. You decide how you are going to respond to those attacks prior to the attacks, because they're going to attack. They're coming for you because you are a source of narcissistic satisfaction for them. They feed off your responses.
Yes, and you're not giving them anything to feed off of, because they want to trigger you deliberately. So when you do that, you're starving them, and you're not taking the bait. It's like they're just dangling a piece of fruit when they do that. And so with gray rock or low contact, you're like, I'm not taking that fruit. I'm not taking that bait. Return to sender.
Return to sender. And so, Solomon and Shannon, this is a 3-part series that we're doing. Can you give the audience just a little bit of a taste of what they might learn in sessions 2 and 3?
To be honest with you, it's learning how to coexist. Or either way, when you're dealing with narcissists, whether it's at work, at home, life, or because I said this before on one of my videos. And think about a narcissist, they leave out of the house, they shut the front door, they drive to work, but that's the same at work. That same narcissist is going to return home. So you're dealing with the same person, it's just a different environment. So we like to calculate, like I said, from both ways, from the and the work life. Same person. It's just at home they're going to be verbally abusive. They're going to be physically abusive. Wife or their spouse. Work, they're going to be verbally abusive and sometimes physically abusive to their employees. So it's the same thing. It's just different, different situations.
Oh, wow. That is a good word. They are the same person in the household as they are outside the household. Have narcissists will travel.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, this has been fabulous. Thank you for, opening up our eyes to this and teaching us some of the basic things we should be looking out for. I can't wait to continue on this series with you guys. And you know what? Thank you for going out in the freezing cold, family, just to get the phone charged up so that we could be together today and talk. If you don't know, Houston is having rolling blackouts, and that's where they are. And this is a dedicated duel, and I am so pleased that they are part of our family now. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Erica and family. We really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. Looking forward to talking with you soon. Okay, Epic Understanding family, you know what? It's not a long time, but it's a good time. We get smarter together, and I am so happy to be with you. You guys have a great day and be a champion. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye for now.